changes to the BCA reference in Australian standards. That completes the discussions to changes to a BCA 2014. What I'll do now is summarise the changes relating to the deletions from BCA 2014, which will include, firstly, the deletion of whole standards due to the deletion of provisions, most of which have already been covered. And secondly, the deletion of an addition of a standard due to the completion of its transition period. And thirdly, I'll also advise you on some new standards being introduced with the BCA 2014, which we would have touched on during the presentation. The first four standards referred to on the slide here have been deleted due to the relocation of the heated water provisions as discussed by Peter earlier. The remaining standard, AS/NZS 3666 Part 2, has been deleted because of the removal of Section I, maintenance. In some circumstances, reference documents introduced into the BCA have a transitional period of 12 months to enable industry to adjust any changes. The additions listed here on this slide have now been deleted as a consequence of a transitional period being completed. What I'll do now is discuss a change which has resulted from the deletion of the 1991 edition of 1668 Part 2. This change occurs at F4.11 of Volume 1. The result from mechanical and natural ventilation requirements being located in separate parts of the 2012 edition of AS 1668. This differs from the 1991 edition of AS 1668 Part 2, which included natural ventilation requirements for car parks. This means that sole references are now made to the 2012 editions of AS 1668 Part 2 for mechanical ventilation and Part 4 for natural ventilation. F4.11 also previously required some background ventilation to always be provided, always be provided in circumstances that a car park exhaust system was deactivated by atmospheric contaminant monitoring system. This safeguard now resides in 2012 edition of AS 1668 Part 2, so it has been deleted from the BCA. The requirement of certain car parks of more than 40 cars to be controlled by an atmospheric contaminant monitoring system in accordance with AS 1668 Part 2 remains in J5.2. This year there are only 5 new standards referenced in the BCA. AS 4586 2013, slip resistance classification of new pedestrian surface materials. AS 1657 2013, fixed platforms, walkways, stairways and ladders, design, construction, installation. AS 1668 Part 4 2012, the use of ventilation and air conditioning in buildings, Part 4, natural ventilation in buildings. AS 2269 2012 version, Part 0, plywood structural specification. And AS 1859, Part 4, 2004, reconstituted wood-based panels, specification Part 4, wet processed fibreboard. For more details on changes, and you can view the Australian standards in relation to the presentation on the ABCB's webcast, available on their website. That completes the changes to BCA 2014.